Hey guys, thanks for listening to the Spiritual Grind. We hope you enjoy it, and don't forget to follow, hit the little bell for your notifications when the podcast is posted, and like, follow, and share with your friends. We hope you enjoy it. Leave a comment if there's any topics that you want us to speak about.
Like, follow, share.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jenny. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Spiritual Grind.
Good morning.
We have Dr. Jenny in the house today.
What?
Yes, that was her sparkles. Anyway, welcome back, guys. We appreciate y'all listening.
Farting unicorn glitter.
That's right. Unicorn farts. That's what that is. It's the unicorn fart button. That's what unicorn farts taste like.
Unicorn.
I said
joy.
taste. That's what unicorn farts taste like. That's funny. I said taste. Okay. Alrighty then. So, welcome back, everybody. We appreciate everybody tuning in and listening. Our podcast downloads are growing exponentially. I enjoy it. Thank you all.
We love it.
Yep. But anyway, so you just want to jump into the topic today, or you don't seem as talkative this morning?
No, I'm just letting the energy build.
Letting it build.
Yeah, I'm ready.
You red eye?
Yeah.
You hitting the red eye today?
Well, what does that mean?
I don't even know what that means. They always say the red eye is like that 5 o'clock in the morning flight or something. I don't know.
I thought the red eye was your butthole.
Well, I guess if you...
It's not?
No. Have you seen that TikTok video of where the girl's at the doctor's office and the doctor walks in and the doctor says, "What's your problem today?" And she said, "I don't know. It's just down there. It hurts when I poop." And how did she word it?
I don't have TikTok.
Oh, what did she say? How did they word it? She said, something. Anyway, I don't know. It was something about entrance. Anytime something goes in there, it hurts. And he said, well, that's what happens. You got to change the traffic pattern, because until you change the traffic pattern, it's going to start hurting. It's going to hurt or something like that. It was pretty funny. It was a good TikTok about the red eye. Yeah, you'll probably cut that out, I'm sure. But anyway.
We'll see.
Yeah.
How I feel. I did. I thought the red eye meant, I didn't know it was a plane reference.
Yeah, it's a plane reference.
I thought it was a booty hole reference.
It's a reference about the flights.
But I never understood it either way, so
Right.
I never knew what it meant.
Nice. So that whole conversation you had with that
cricket button.
So I have to ask this question.
Okay.
I remember when we were talking to that former boss of that one company.
Okay.
And he said to you, I don't know, I'm catching the red eye in the morning.
Uh-huh.
You thought he was catching a butthole?
I thought he was making like a sexual reference of, maybe doing something freaky, peaky.
That defers. I mean, that really deserves this. What?
I thought that's what that meant this whole time. And so, when he was talking about that, I didn't know that he was talking about the airplane, because I never have.
So when our former direct boss said, I came in on the red eye this morning, you thought the same thing.
Yeah, I thought that it meant it was an innuendo that he had gotten like some really good sex that morning or something. And I was like, okay, we're just going to roll with it. Whatever.
Oh, my goodness.
I guess if you want to be an oversharer this morning and tell me your business,
Oh, that's
I
so funny.
guess so. What does it mean when it refer to the airplane thing? What does that mean?
The red eye means like a 5 o'clock in the morning flight. Like your eyes are red because you just woke up.
I got it.
Yeah.
Like when you first get up out of the bed and you kind of have that bloodshot eye look. And
Yeah, they call that the red eye. I believe it's a 5 a.m. flight. It's called the red eye flight.
Oh, I was today years old.
Because also in aeronautical scheduling, that's the last flight of the pilot is coming in at 5 a.m. So that's also another reference to it. They've been on a long shift. They've been flying 8 hours or whatever it is, and they're tired and their eyes are red.
Wow.
That's funny.
Whole time in my life, at 50-something years old, I thought it meant something to do with the booty hole.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
So anytime somebody talked about the red eye, I thought they were making like a sexual reference or a sexual innuendo.
That would be called the brown eye, by the way, just so you know, not the red eye.
So technically, being a GI nurse in my adventures as nursing, not to be too graphic, but sometimes the booty hole does have a pink tint to it. Mm-hmm. And so I could see where I could correlate red eye with a pink booty hole.
I can see where you and maybe 2 or 3 other people in the entire world could confuse that.
What do you say? You're the dumbest smart person.
You are the dumbest smart person I've ever met. It's pretty funny. But hey, it's a great leeway into our topic today.
Really?
It is.
Wow. I have a unique ability to do that, even on quirky learning opportunities.
Yeah, because the how it is similar to the topic today.
Do tell.
Is how we can very easily confuse words for other things that we do in our reality.
Or give things multiple definitions. Or apply our own definitions when we don't have enough information.
Yes. And that's one of the big things is we have a tendency to apply our beliefs to things that are said to us instead of actually creating the proper belief. You'll just take a existing belief and tag it to it. Or
definition.
Because our coffee talk this morning is what prompted this thought.
Yes.
Because, we were talking this morning, we were talking about energetic flow and how people, the number 2 topics in the spiritual metaphysical world for people to focus on is abundance and happiness. And they always label 99% of the time as abundance as money.
Right. I agree with that.
And so then they create these beliefs. So, for example, the one this morning that happened.
On my part.
On your part.
100%. Yeah. It was me working through some
money stuff.
Checking on some things.
Right.
What I brought to the table this morning at Coffee Talk was
self-sacrifice.
How do I determine if I am releasing attachment to a material item or if I am still running with a self-sacrifice template?
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of feeling around in the frequency for my own self just to make sure, because there was a time in my life where I lived very much from a self-sacrifice template, and I did a lot of work over the years to make sure I cleaned that up.
And a good example of that is how single moms, single dads, single parents will do things that they like. Your example was you started the cleaning company years ago.
Yeah.
And you took your chemicals out from underneath your cabinet in your kitchen and went and started a cleaning company with those chemicals.
Right.
when those are chemicals you could have used to clean the house for your kids. You were trying to create more income and more abundance, but in your mind, you were tagging that as a sacrifice because you're giving away your time to go make more money for your kids. And that's what
I don't know. I mean, if I was doing it unconsciously.
Well, I'm just using that
at the
example.
time. I didn't say, "Oh my God, I'm not going to have any dish soap to wash the dishes for my own family," and that's not how it played out.
Right.
I didn't leave us without cleaning products to clean my own personal space.
Right. Well, that's where I was going with that is how it kind of ties together to where we will create our own definition of things, and including, like, for example, what's a good example? A good example of that is when people sell things. Say they sell something in their reality. Like we just recently.
It's okay to use the examples like the jet skis.
Yep.
You had talked to me about. I was toggling around at one point selling them. Of gosh, why do I have to sell my toys, even if I'm not completely ready to sell it? Because I may want to play with it again somewhere along the way, and it felt like self-sacrifice at the time. Because it sat in the toy box for several months.
Yeah,
I would say probably a year since we'd been on them, and it for a minute felt like I was that child at home again that said, "Okay, you haven't played with this toy.
Christmas is coming.
You don't get to
rid
keep everything. Let's dump the toy box out, and you have to pick 5 items, and everything else has to go." And I'm like, well, I wasn't done playing with that. I just wasn't playing with it at the time.
Right.
That was part of what I was taught as a child as, self-sacrificing. Why can't I have both? Why can't I have all of my toys? Because I'm not done with them. And so it was tangled up with what felt like self-sacrifice.
Right.
That's what it grew into.
Well, and the other side of that
it was
we
also
were
tangled up in, why can't I have more than one thing at a time? So there was a lot of work around that I had to do.
Well, yeah, and this is where a lot of people go wrong, is because we actually got rid of the jet skis to get the motorhome so we could actually build our business. And
I think you described it in the best way this morning for me.
Yeah.
And it was not the fact that I was sacrificing and couldn't have that toy. It was the fact that you sold them while the return on the investment was high.
Yes.
That was what helped me understand why we did what we did. It wasn't because you couldn't have the toy. It wasn't because you can't have another one. It was just that particular version of that was coming to the end of having a beneficial exchange rate to make more worker dollars.
I mean, we made $9,000 out of those. And rode them for a year and a half, 2 years, whatever they were.
Because there comes a time, what you were explaining this morning that made sense to me is all material things come to a point where their return depreciates.
Oh, yeah, completely,
and
100%.
I hadn't put all that together in my mind until this morning.
Right.
And it just kind of felt like, gosh, you're taking all my damn toys away. Why can't I keep that? Why can't I have that and that?
Right. It's not about having that and that, is at all. And this is where our listeners probably, this is where abundance gets confused.
Yeah. I'm excited
because
about this one.
It does not matter, no matter how much money you have.
Yeah.
In your life, it does not matter. Been on both sides of this fence. I've had a ton of money. And then I've had no money.
Right.
But there's never been a time in my life, and I learned this through multiple of my friends when I was at the highest point of my career.
Yeah.
Of how they operate and how they work. And I used the example this morning of the Prince of Dubai that just sold his $1 billion yacht for like $900 million.
Right.
And everybody was giving him a hard time for throwing away $100 million.
Right.
And It's the fact of that boat was at his age. It was at its age where it was going to start depreciating rapidly.
Yeah.
And so he wanted to sell it while he could.
Right. And for me, that this morning's talk was just really epiphanal, and it gave me a whole different viewpoint on getting rid of my toys out of the toy box.
Because this is
ready to get rid of them.
This is where the people seem to think things this, and this is a grandiose perception that people have of wealth.
Okay.
That when you have wealth, you have everything in the world that you have. You have all this stuff at your what is it?
Exposure.
Exposure. You have all this stuff exposed to you. You can own everything in the world that you want to have.
Uh-huh.
And you're going to hang on to those forever. And so people that are in the middle class, the higher class, or even lower class, they have a tendency to hoard things.
Right.
They keep on to things.
Yeah.
And all you're doing is stifling abundance when you do so. Because maximizing return of everything is what smart people do. That's not what wealthy people do.
Uh-huh.
Wealthy people, they do that already because they're wealthy, because they are thinking about these things. It's called intentional thought.
Yeah.
They have the intention of maximizing profit and fun in the same place.
Right.
Like we paid $17,000 for the pair of jet skis with the trailer.
Yeah.
We sold them for $28,900 and rode them for 2 years.
Right.
And so it's maximizing profit. And so that's where the difference between sacrificing things that people have a tendency to label things when it comes to abundance, they get it confused.
Right. So if I could give you my perception, with me, the way I was raised and what I'm cleaning up right now is the fact that, okay, you buy something, you keep it forever until you get it paid off, and then you no longer have a payment associated with it. It's free and clear, and then you still utilize it and basically run it into the ground until it doesn't drive or utilize anymore. And that's kind of like the average person, average consumer's way of thinking.
It's a trap.
Is I'm going to buy this, I'm going to pay it off, and that's the whole premise.
Right.
So now I have this thing, it's paid for, now I can just use it and utilize it anytime I want. And what you taught me this morning was something completely different. So I'm very excited about that.
So that's the trap. And so like the financial trap is when people have a tendency to think that when wealthy or rich people, which they're all over the internet, they say, smart people live on other people's money.
Okay.
They do. But it's a trap, because the normal person, when they go out and finance a vehicle, their goal is to pay that vehicle off.
And still drive it.
And so now in this time, you've taken, I'm just going to use a $20,000 car.
Okay.
As an example. So if you're doing a $20,000 car at 5% interest, you're now paying, how much is that? 5% of 20,000 is $1,000 a year in interest.
Okay.
Is that right? Let's see. Yes, it's $1,000 a year in interest.
Okay.
Now you've paid for this that's compounding annual APR.
Okay.
And so you're paying $1,000 a year. So now at the end of a 5-year note, you have now paid $25,000 to the finance company for this car that you paid $20,000 for.
In interest.
And so at the end of the time, you pay it off.
Okay.
You are paid $25,000 for a $20,000 car because you pay the interest to the finance company.
And so you're saying like the $5,000 is the interest, and the $20,000 is the car.
Correct.
Okay.
So, and now this is where the trap comes into play.
Okay.
Because a lot of people don't even realize this, that the majority of loans, 97% of loans in the United States for the normal consumer, for the first 12 months, you pay nothing but interest payments. So you're paying the interest up front.
Okay.
And so you're paying that $5,000 that's going to be paid off at the end of the note of what everybody thinks in their mind, that you're going to be paying it across the course of the time. If you actually stop and look, your principal that goes towards the original 20,000 is actually minus all of the interest payments that would have been made across the course of the note. And this is where everybody gets confused, because they think, oh, I'm paying $500 a month for my car, and my balance should be going down. Well, your balance doesn't go down until the interest is paid off.
I see.
That's when you'll see your all of a sudden your balance, so your payment goes. And so now the vehicle has now gotten a year older. You've now putting more mileage on it. You're now doing all this stuff that depreciates that value. And so now at the end of that first year or whatever it is, because some notes go 2 or 3 years before you start hitting the principal. And I'm just going to use the 1 year model for a chance. Now you've taken the $20,000 vehicle, and at the end of that first year that you paid nothing but principal on, that car is now worth $18,000.
Oh, so it's depreciated by 2, but you still owe 20.
But you still owe 20.
And so now you're in the
You're
hole.
That's where you're upside down. That's where you don't get in the negative or in the positive for 3 years.
Oh, I see.
And so the difference is a lot of people want to keep that car while it's depreciating the entire time. By the end of the note, that car is worth $5,000 or $6,000.
Yeah.
And so do you see where
you
download...
could have gone and traded it in.
Sure could.
Where you were at the top of that bell curve, basically.
Or sold it outright for the original price.
Right. And maybe not only recouped, but made some money on it.
Correct. Or you just have to watch the market. Like I'm always watching the market.
Yeah.
Always watching different things. I do it all the time. I just will randomly look through stores and shops and car things, just randomly do it. Because, like, for example, our Jeep, our Gladiator right now is actually worth $8,000 more than what we owe on it.
Ooh, let's go trade it in.
But because we bought it at a Black Friday sale, so we got it $5,000 off, plus the market is up. Gladiator production is down, so it makes the value of the Gladiator go up.
I see.
And so that's what smart people do. That's what the Prince of Dubai did when he sold his yacht. He knows that at the end of this year, that yacht's going to be worth $300 million less than what he sold it for.
Yeah.
And so that is where the trap is people don't understand the energy flow. And then they have a tendency to create definitions behind it. Because I guarantee you, anybody that's listening to this thinks that their first 12 months of their payment, they're paying towards their principal when they're not.
Yeah.
At a very minimal amount.
Right.
Because what they do is they spread that out. And so that's one of the abundance traps. And
well, for me, it was getting to a place of releasing attachment to stuff.
Yes.
And understanding a different perspective about that. So what brought this all about for me was we have one of those little doodads. A Quest, yes.
Quest 3, the Oculus that I was going to sell. Right.
And we've had it for a couple of years. I like playing with it. I just haven't played with it in a minute. Probably about a year.
Yeah, it's been a year.
But I didn't necessarily, when you came to me at first and you said, okay, I'm going to sell this, I didn't.
You said, you're not going to sell my toy.
I didn't want to get rid of my toy. Yeah. Even though I'm not playing with it currently, I have plans to take it back out of the toy box and play with it.
Right.
And then I was like, okay, it's fine. Don't be attached to crap.
Yeah.
Don't have an attachment to it. You haven't played with it in a year. So I had to kind of talk myself out of that. But it still felt not quite aligned with a good feeling energy.
Right. Well, we're building energy for our trip. So, for our work.
That wasn't what it was about for me. Yeah. I wasn't doing any of that. I was trying to get to a place of understanding the frequency of, am I still running a self-sacrifice place and just using word wizardry to make it feel better inside of me? Mm. Our talk this morning made me realize that you're not selling it because I'm not playing with it.
No.
Like what happened as a child.
As a child, yep.
You're selling it because there's a new product coming out and it will lose its value.
Yes, it already has.
If we don't trade it and get ready to upgrade.
Yeah.
So if I did want another one, you know me well enough to know at some point I'm going to say, oh, I want the new version of this.
Yes.
And so why not acquiesce the maximum amount of money out of it while it still has life and viability on the market?
Correct.
I wasn't looking at it like that.
Right.
I was looking at it from a standpoint of, why are you making me get rid of my toys out of my fucking toy box? I am still playing with it. I'm just not playing with it right now.
Right. And so that's where the intentional thought comes into play. So let me explain that to you. When you, like the Quest 4, we actually had the Quest 3 with the extended battery life. We had a nice setup for somebody in which the guy that bought it was ecstatic about it for him and his kids.
Yeah.
Because his broke.
Yeah.
And it was like not repairable. He tried. And so him and his kids do it every weekend. And so he was actually very ecstatic to get this product that I sold to him. But over the course of the last 3 months, because Meta has submitted a release that they are going to roll the Quest 4 August 1st.
Oh, yeah.
And so I have watched our Quest 3 lose its value over the course of since the announcement. Like it went from $500 worth at that level to less than $4 very rapidly.
Yeah.
And so it was a win-win situation to get rid of it now, put the money back, and when we get the new, you can take that money and apply it towards the new Quest that comes out, because I know you like those anyway, and it's going to be fun. And the games you liked weren't even on there anymore.
Right.
Because they took him off the server. And so I intentionally went through the thought process and figuring out what I was doing with it. And then you had exposed to me that you were labeling it as sacrifice.
Right. And that was many days later.
Yeah.
I mean, at first I was like, okay, he's right. I was still doing that childlike justification of, all right, I haven't played with it in over a year. What's the likelihood of me taking it out and actually using it in the next 30, 60, 90 days? I did. I went through this whole gamut of crap. I'm like, it's cold outside. We live in a motor coach right now. There's really not any room without killing yourself to play with it. It's too cold right now to go outside and play with it.
Yep.
It's probably going to sit there for another few months until it warms up. And so, all right, fine. I will clean my toy box out and I will let this thing go. And justifying it in my head, but I was justifying it from a whole different energy.
Right.
I was justifying it and rationalizing it in my head with what I just said.
Right.
I was like, all right, I'm not going to play with it, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But what you brought to the table was a very epiphanal moment for me of upgrade and what did you call it? Still having equity in a product or still having
anything,
value.
People should be looking at that constantly.
Right, yeah. And so it was very eye-opening for me.
Maximize your stuff.
Yeah.
And what I want everybody to notice behind this is, because this podcast is about abundance and money.
Yeah.
But what it caused, your thought process made that listing on Facebook Marketplace go stagnant.
Yes.
Because you were holding on to that energy.
That's right.
And that's what people do in their own lives. And they forget that energy or money is energy.
Yeah. So go back and explain how long it's set on Marketplace before we got any bites or
it's set there.
It's been on Marketplace for probably a good month, wouldn't you say?
2 months. Yeah. I listed it 2 months ago.
Really?
Yeah, in January. And it got
no movement.
I didn't get a single message on it.
Right.
Didn't have a single, and this is the upgraded one. It's got the battery, the extended battery, got the comfort strap, and the case.
Right. I even bought a case for it.
Yeah. We spent like $1,100 on that thing.
Right.
And when we bought it, because we bought all the bells and whistles with it.
Everything it could offer, I bought when I bought it.
And it just sat there stagnant. And I had it listed at what the suggested new or used price was.
Yeah.
And I actually called GameStop and asked them what they sell them for used.
Right.
Which is what I listed it for.
Yeah.
But
because I was hanging on to it and not releasing it from a perspective.
I got not a single message
that didn't make sense to me or that didn't feel quite right, had a very, very low vibration. We got no interaction, no bites, no anything.
And so then I lowered the price on it because I noticed on GameStop that they had lowered their prices because of the announcement.
And at the same time, I was working through being okay letting it go out of my toy box because I'm like, God, why can't I have this and that? Why can't I have more than one toy in my toy box at a time?
That's right. Yep. And so, but that's what people do. We get caught up in that cross mix of energy.
Yeah.
And because what everybody has to understand, literally, if you want to have money, you have to spend money. It's not you have to have money to make money.
Right.
And because it does not matter, because what is my other phrase? All
money's big money.
All money is big money.
Yeah.
It don't matter if it's 50 cents or if it's $50 million. All money is good. And that's the energy that should be behind it.
Right. Because of money is a flow.
Money is a flow. It's an energy.
In and out, in and out. That's how you want the money to be is you want it to be flowing in, flowing out, flowing in, flowing out.
Yep. And
no matter what it looks like.
The difference is what you do is as you free up your beliefs behind money for most people, and when they become more in tune with what their thought processes and their beliefs behind money are, then the threshold goes up. And so if you have the mindset that, oh my gosh, you come from the parents that don't have money, or nobody in your family's never had money, and so you're not going to have money, or if you come from that mindset.
Yeah.
Or if you come from the mindset of the spoiled brat syndrome. I actually used to do a lecture on this, on the spoiled brat syndrome, to where people, the worst ones that are financially come from people with money because they've been spoiled and not taught properly. But when you get to the mindset that you are in a place that you never have abundance, you start stifling your own energy.
Yeah.
And because, oh my gosh, I don't have $1 million in a bank, and so I can't go buy this. I can't go buy that. And so you won't buy anything. You get to where you start hanging on to money like it's the last thing on earth.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely hoarding it.
And you
not
hoard it,
letting it work for you at all in any way. Or you'll do like I did, and I figured out loopholes to work around, like going to thrift stores.
Right.
And buying a cheaper version, even though it wasn't quite what I was wanting.
Right.
I'd go to the thrift store, find something comparable at a price I thought that I
was comfortable paying or
be comfortable affording. That way I didn't have to feel like I was keeping myself from having the thing.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really dealing with my beliefs around it either.
Right.
That was the catch.
You see, and when it comes to this topic, people insert their own definitions on things.
Absolutely.
And one of the things...
Not just this topic, a lot of topics.
Yes. Like, for example, I used to get asked a lot, you could have anything you wanted. Why don't you have this, or why don't you have that? And it's because I was in tune with what I didn't want any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, I could have any of that stuff I wanted. I 100% agree, but I don't want it.
Yeah.
And that's where people make assumptions and interject definitions into their visions of what that looks like when it's all individually based. So they think, oh, if they have they make $500,000 a year, then they have all the money, and I want to have that lifestyle. So they start repeating the process of, I want to live that way. And so some of them will do this. Some of them will start putting money in savings. Oh, for them to have that, they do that because that's back in the day when we were younger. You were supposed to have 9 months of your bills in savings.
Yeah.
And what a lot of people don't know, especially if you're financially minded, when you put 9 months of savings of money in a savings account, you have just thrown away tons of money because you're going to get a minimal interest rate, and that bank is going to use your money to make 7 or 8 times more money than you are off of it. And you have to learn how to take that money and turn it into something more lucrative, because savings is actually stifling money flow. And I'm not saying that having money back for a rainy day is not important, but you can put it back in ways that makes you a lot more money.
Have it go out and work for you in a little bit better way.
And you have a great analogy for this that you just came up with.
Yeah, I had to come up with, when something is confusing to me or not quite understandable, if I'll make a game out of it, it makes it more fun to me. And so as we're getting ready to go on the tour and do our lectures and go to spirit fairs, we're spending a lot of money getting product ready to sell at our booth at each stop we make. T-shirts, tumbler cups, our books, etc.
Right.
And I'm like, gosh, there's a lot of money going out, man. And you I was tiptoeing into that pool of, well, I hope we sell these shirts. I hope they don't just lay there and collect dust, because, we bought quite a few $100s worth of shirts.
$1,000 of things. Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a lot. I hope we sell them. And so instead of going in that direction with it, because that energy feels kind of yucky, what I did is I played a game in my head, and this is what it looks like. I said, okay, you know what? I've got this dollar bill. And right now he's got the uniform on that looks like a dollar bill. What I asked that dollar bill to do was put on a new uniform called a T-shirt. And I am going to now change the job description of, you're going to wear this T-shirt and go out and recruit new dollar bills to come my way, right? New workers. So I basically created a whole little scene in my head of
a little army of workers.
I hired my money to work for me, because if it's okay for me to work 1 or 2 or 3 jobs or have 4 or 5 different projects going, then it damn well is okay for my dollar to work for me.
Yeah.
And so I made this little comical, I literally did some illustrations and made some little comical things about the dollar bill. I hired the dollar bill and put it to work. And some of it is in marketing paraphernalia, like the tablecloth with the logo on it. Mm-hmm. That dollar bill became the tablecloth, and they're going to recruit new recruits.
Yep.
The other dollar bill became tumblers, and they're going to not only go out and sell it, but they're going to market the products for additional new recruits and bring back their referrals, basically, by way of the return on the investment kind of scenario.
ROS,
right. Yeah. If I buy a shirt for $5 and then I sell it for $10, that's that dollar bill bringing in its little referrals.
Yes.
And that coming back to me, not only the old dollar bill coming back to me, but then the new referrals as well. So it's like a little game I'm playing in my head to make it feel better.
Well, and that's a great way to explain the way I've always taught about money for people. And that is the fact is money is energy. Mm-hmm. And energy can become stagnant and very slow if you stifle it.
Yeah.
And if you stifle the energy flow with your beliefs, your programs, your habits, then you will slowly create things. You will slowly make money.
All right.
You may get a 50-cent raise this year. Those kind of things. If you live in that mindset of, I want to have what that person has, and so I'm going to do what I feel like I think they're doing.
Yeah.
You're going to find out that most of the time, the people that you are using as an idol do life completely different than you think.
Yeah, because you probably have not gone and asked them the
That's right.
question. You're just writing the story on what you think they're doing, and it usually is totally off base.
Right. And there was a recent show where Grant Cardone, he took $100 and turned it into a $7 million business in 90 days
Oh, yeah.
and sold the business.
Okay.
And you have to ask yourself, how does a man take $100 and in 90 days without using any of his own, without using any of his people?
Yeah.
He did it all by himself in a company, created a company that he had never had before, never had anything to do with it, didn't use any of his background people, and in 90 days sold it for $5.7 million.
Okay.
And so is that a mindset? That's what a lot of people don't get. That is a mindset. It's a different way of thinking. And when you create the buckets that you're filling up and saving money, you're not using your money to work for you. Like you created this perfect analogy. These little workers are going out working for you to make more money.
Yeah.
It's a great analogy. And that's what you have to do. That's what smart people do. So when
I'm so smart.
You're martyr of martyr today. When you get to the point of your life that you don't know what's next when it comes to money, that's where a lot of people do. They get stagnant. They get happy in their own place, or they get comfortable in their own place, but yet they still have the dreams of being a millionaire one day or whatever that is, but yet their actions are not mimicking what their dreams are.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And so that too becomes stagnant energy.
Right. But some of it's fear.
I agree. Well, is it fear?
Yeah.
Or is it a lack?
It's a combination sometimes, but sometimes it's a fear because we are a see it and then believe it kind of population.
Right.
And if I can't see how this is going to make me money, then I'm too afraid to put myself out there because what if?
Right. Yep. And that's called generational.
And so sometimes you become stagnant because of the fear of the unknown and the fear of the what if.
Right.
What if I go buy all this product and it doesn't sell? Then I'm stuck with this product and I've spent the money that could have been spent on some other hundreds of things. And now I'm locked into this product that I can't sell.
Right.
That's a fear combined with a what if story that you don't even know if it's accurate. So yeah, sometimes it can be fear.
And so what I was just about to talk about is the mindset behind all that is people have a tendency to, they don't understand that developing personal wealth is a mindset, because here's a good way to prove that concept. Generational wealth.
Okay.
So, the best way to describe generational wealth, and that is with the simple fact of if you see somebody, how they live, operate, think, process, beliefs, whatever that is, in the millionaire status or in the place that you want to be, then you will create the same environment for yourself. That's generational replicated wealth. Not that it's passed down from generation to generation, because you'll find out that the majority of those people, unless you're like a Johnson & Johnson family or something that have billions and billions, but then they recreate their own wealth. And a prime example of that, very, very prime example, Zig Ziglar's son. Zig Ziglar became generationally wealthy, but his son became wealthy not from his dad's money, because he was raised around his dad that taught him the things that his dad traveled around getting wealthy off of.
Right. That's what I was going to say is it's the generational wealth doesn't necessarily mean that someone before you created all this money so you don't have to worry about money.
Right.
That does happen.
Yes.
But
less than 1%.
You were raised and taught to think about it in a very much different perspective.
Correct.
Than the average kind of like blue collar, no offense implied, individual. it's a different way of thinking and a different perspective as your normal baseline.
Correct.
And so those that have created the generational wealth, they're teaching the next generation how to view it and think about it differently. And so that's that next generation's normal set point. And that's what generational wealth means as well.
And I use the same mindset, and I call this the Bates process in my mind.
Like
I used to have
Norman
a coach.
Bates from the
No,
Bates Hotel.
like I had a coach in high school. In high school, named Bates was his last name, and he.
Well, I was going to say is what we're supposed to all live with our mother for the rest of our life in the basement.
No.
Oh, okay.
Like one time, he put me in a game, and he wanted me to go pitch, and he had promoted me from middle school baseball up into playing the varsity team.
Okay.
Because he wanted me to pitch. I was a lefty and I had an arm. And he didn't have any left-handed pitchers, and so he wanted me to pitch.
Okay.
And my very first game in the varsity, he put me on the mound, and all I could say to him was, "Coach, these kids are older and better than me." And he said, "Yeah, but think about how much better you're going to be tomorrow after you pitch to them today." And that really rung a bell with me.
Mm.
We all do this process. If you want to be better, you go play with people better than you. You go play against people better than you. If you want to be richer, you get to know the thought process of people wealthier than you.
Mm-hmm.
You get the habits, you get the beliefs, you get the processes, and you go through those motions.
And the perspectives.
Surround yourself with people like you want to be.
Yeah.
If you hang out with people that aren't what you want to be, then you're going to stay in that same place where you don't want to be.
Right, that same mindset.
That's correct.
You're not allowing yourself to view yourself as that person that you want to be like, or that person's life that you want to have.
There's two purposes for anybody to ever be in a room where they feel like that they are the king or the smartest person in the room. Because if you are hanging out in places that you are the smartest person in the room, then you are egotistical. You are not getting better, you're not getting smarter, and you're not getting wealthier.
You're just stroking your ego.
You're just stroking your ego.
Yeah.
Those who want to be wealthy, those who want to be smarter, you don't go to an Ivy League college if you don't want to be smart. You don't go hang out at the college if you don't want to be smart.
Right.
You go, if you want to be smart, then you go hang out at the college.
Right.
If you want to be a better basketball player, you go hang out at the gym.
Yeah.
If you want to be rich, you go hang out with the rich.
Right.
No matter how you got to get there.
Yeah.
Like I did. I walked in the back door like I owned the place. And because of that,
like, because there's some hidden convention center where they all go hang out and mingle, and you just walked in the back door with your cigar and said, I'm just going to hang out and see what these people do. Like an underworld gathering place.
Oh yeah, there is.
There's not.
There is one in every town that all the wealthy people go and hang out at.
Really?
Everywhere, every town. I guarantee you. I know where it is here.
Well, I'll be corn poppin' puff.
And if you want to be smarter, you can do what I do. I interjected myself into their life.
Yeah.
Like when we first moved in the Dallas area,
mm-hmm.
I walked in the front door of the freaking chamber like I owned it. And what happened 3 months later? They elected me to the board.
Yeah, for sure.
And so that is not about. That is how you become what you want.
Yeah.
You don't stay stagnant and keep those same old beliefs, and you have to understand that everything should be intentional.
Yeah.
You brought up this morning with the money. That's intentional thought.
Mm-hmm.
I sold this thing because I didn't want to lose any more money on it.
Right.
And so I maximized what I could get out of it.
Exactly.
It's the same.
You didn't
same
sell
way.
it because I wasn't playing with it anymore, like I initially thought.
And it wasn't because of the money.
Like, God, Daddy, you're being so mean.
It wasn't because of the money, obviously. It wasn't because you weren't using it. I'm just maximizing the exchange.
Yeah, I get it.
And that's where the stagnance of abundance comes into play. Everybody has to understand the very first rule. I'm going to give them 3 rules, and then we'll kind of get to that point. Number 1 is understand that money is energy. Okay. It comes and it goes. Uh-huh. And get rid of every myth you've ever had in your mind about it, because it's all a myth. It doesn't take money to make money.
It's all garbage.
It's all garbage.
Yeah.
It doesn't take money to make money, ever. Mm-hmm. What it takes is intention.
Yeah.
And your intentional thought, your intentional processes, your intentional work, whatever it is that you decide to go and do, intentionally do it.
Yeah.
And step number 2 that I would give everybody to do, if you really want to create that abundance, and not just in money, because these rules apply to everything in life. Mm-hmm. Step number 2 is remove the mindset that everybody around me is not as smart as me. Don't put yourself in a situation. Remove the mindset that I'm smarter than the people I'm hanging out with.
Oh, I see. Yeah. And don't just continue to live in that place.
That's right.
You've got something to learn from.
Because you have something to learn from everybody. Right. And if you are the smartest person in the world, that's the number 3 rule. The number 3 in the steps. If you are the smartest person in the room, you need to get better friends. You need to get better business acquaintances. You need to get better whatever it is that you want to be.
Right.
Stop
going to that room.
To where it strokes your ego.
Especially if you find yourself wanting more or wanting an upgrade in your existence, whatever area that is.
Right. And it's the same example. Back in the day, they used to call it the single syndrome, when single people that are married or married people go out and act single and hang out with their single friends. Mm-hmm. And what happens to those couples? They end up getting divorced, because you're hanging out with people that you are stroking your ego to go do things with that are not at your level. So, because
I feel like that confuses things a little bit.
Well, it's the same thought process. Is you create the habits of those that you go around.
Subconsciously, those people wanted to be single, so they went and started hanging out with single people.
Yes. And that's being honest with yourself, because that's going to be the bonus step. Step 4 is you have to be honest with yourself, what you really want in life.
Right.
Because if like I gave a class one time in Houston, Texas about abundance, because at the time I had a restaurant organization, and about how to become that person. Uh-huh. And the bonus step to that is being real to yourself. Are you sure that you want to have that kind of a business? Do you want to, what is and why? That's the bonus step. What do you want, and why do you want it? Mm-hmm. Because if you are wanting something that you really don't have a why to, then your intentions are never going to be pure. And that's where the bonus step is. So make sure you're clear, clear, and really be true with yourself.
Mm-hmm. And so what you're saying is, if your perspective or your viewpoint, that's VOO for any of you wanting to know how to spell that, is that...
And that is a word then.
It's a word now. I want to create generational wealth.
Yep.
And you figure out a business or a concept, you put it into play, but because you're doing it for the sole purpose of I want to have money like I see this person, because you think that this person has money and you want their lifestyle. Mm-hmm. What you're saying is that that's not a pure intentional why.
Correct.
And that you may have skewed the perspective. And so when you create your concept of it, it may be entangled with not so fun stuff.
Right. Correct.
Is that what you're basically
100%
saying?
Correct. You hit that one on the nose.
Getting clear on And we'll take like the restaurant business, for example. If you've got a perspective that says, oh, owning a bunch of restaurants looks so easy because he makes it easy and he makes a shit ton of money and it's like a cash cow. What they don't know, because they've not come and asked the question, is how much time and work went into the front side of things,
right,
so that it could become easy. The hours and hours of personal time and stuff that was invested into it. And so, yeah, it's a cash cow now,
yeah,
but them not understanding that there was months, years, and days and hours of blood, sweat, and tears that went into getting things set up on the front end
right,
before it could get to that point. And do you have the tenacity and the
humility
and the get up and get it done kind of mentality to put that kind of effort in place in the beginning so that you can ride the wave of it?
right. That's the same thing I did when I started officiating
People
football.
don't look at the whole big picture. They just see what's going on now.
Right. They see the result and think they want to get that without
They
don't
think
realize
that
what's behind it.
The result is an automatic, instantaneous thing without doing the research on what was invested in getting that end result that they're witnessing now.
Right.
This is one of the things we get from people all along our journey, even in the management business that we did. Our assistants would say, you make it look so easy.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't ask about or witness the hours of time we put in networking and putting processes in place to get to that point.
Right. And that's what, like when I first started officiating football, I wanted, as soon as I had my first class, I wanted to become a college level football. I wanted to be a D1 football, a football coach or a official. And so I walked up to this guy that was giving the class, and I said, I want to be a D1 official. How do I do that? And he said, you want to see what it's really like? Come meet me Friday night. Because I had the humility to go ask.
Uh-huh.
I went up and watched. I went and watched behind them. I was with them the entire time.
Right.
Of what it's like to be a D1 football official.
Uh-huh.
And the demand that was behind it.
Right.
And at the end of the night, he said, well, what'd you think? I said, well, I want to do it again tomorrow. And because I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Some people hate it.
Right.
You don't really know.
Yeah.
You and what happens is I started hanging out with these guys. And I got to know all the D1 level guys. And I got elbow to elbow with all of them.
Yeah.
And what happens in the shortest amount of time in my chapter's history, I became a D1 official.
Mm-hmm.
And it because I was hobnobbing with the bigwigs, so to speak.
Well, not only that, but you went and did your homework. You
I
went
did.
and found out the true story of what it takes, and then checked in with yourself and said, am I willing to invest what it takes to become this thing? And is that truly what I want?
Right. Same thing with my buddy.
That's what we mean when we say do the due diligence of whatever topic you're talking about. Because a lot of times I feel like people miss that step.
Yes.
They just look at the lifestyle or the job they want, the end result that came from the work that went into it, or the self-teaching or the knowledge.
Right.
And they think, oh, that looks so easy and that's what I want. And they're making a shit ton of money. And they forget to go and say, how did you get where you are?
And how do I do it?
And how do I get to where you are?
That's right.
And take that information and then check in with themselves and say, am I willing to put in the action steps and the effort to get to this place?
Right.
Is this something that I really enjoy? Is it something I really want? They just jump in immediately thinking it's supposed to look the way it looked to them whenever they were on the other side of the fence. And then when it doesn't, they go into this place of being discouraged or down talk the job. It's nothing like that. It's all a lie. They're misrepresenting when in fact it's that they didn't do their homework to find out what it took to create
Right.
the thing that they're seeing.
Yeah.
And they told themselves monkey mind stories that weren't accurate, and they didn't go collect the information.
When we built that hotel in just outside Justin by the racetrack, then the owners wanted to put a professional level golf course on the behind it.
Right.
And they hired Jack Nicklaus to come in and design it. The Golden Bear, the granddaddy of them all. Well, and I was in this meeting.
And he's a golf player.
Oh, yeah, he's known. Anybody there that knows golf knows what he is.
I see.
He is also the top one. Well, he was. I think he passed away now. But I was sitting at the table, and at the end of the table, I was kind of intrigued by this guy because very intelligent man, very, very intelligent. I was very impressed by him, very humiliated by him. Right, and so I asked him, when did you decide you wanted to be a golfer? Because he had one of the longest professional careers of any golfer back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, whatever it was. And he said, well, I never really knew I wanted to be a golfer. And this is an epiphanal thing that I'm going to end this podcast on for me, is I didn't know I wanted to be a golfer, but I was intrigued by the game.
Right.
And so I thought, what better idea was it? I'm going to go be a caddy. And he did.
And study the art.
And he went down and actually caddied for free for tips.
Yeah.
And the golf course allowed him to do it at his local golf course, wherever he was as a child. And so at age 9, he was caddying full adult clubs for golfers going down the course and would just watch and learn and see what they did. And then he ended up getting hired, and he ended up learning how to play golf from the house pro. And then just took what he had learned throughout the courses of the year. He interjected himself into where he wanted to be.
Yeah.
That's what people have to do.
At whatever level.
At whatever level you want to be. Like I've heard JT Fox say, you want to be a millionaire, go hang out with millionaires.
Yeah.
You want to be a billionaire, go hang out with billionaires. Now, it's the point that you get from point A to point B that where a lot of people get stagnant, is they give up or they quit. They think that they couldn't be there. They can't compete with this person. And what they'll find is most 80-something% of millionaires are self-made. It's just all about.
And they poop and stink just like
they
everybody
do.
Else.
And most of them are assholes just like everybody else. Just kidding. That's a joke.
I wouldn't say they're all assholes, but they have one.
They do. And they're
Everybody
red. They call
has
them red
a red
eyes.
eye.
Yeah. Anyway, hey guys, don't forget to check out the website, www.themerchcenters.org. You can go check out the app website at www.lucidiumworld.com. And you can go check out Jindan's Yoga.
Yeah.
That is at jindanyoga.net. And hey, there's a video library in there, live sessions that you can have. And it's $39 a month. It's cheaper than a regular membership at a yoga place. And you can do it right in your own home. And it's a unique way of doing yoga.
Yeah, for sure.
And
if this podcast if it hit a bell for you, or you know somebody that it would help, share it.
For sure. Most definitely.
Put it out there. Share the wealth.
Because
pass it around.
And because that's how you get better. You interject yourself, or you help people interject themselves.
Yeah.
That's what we do all the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, don't forget to like, follow, and share, guys. And hey, when you like, follow, and share, don't forget to
ring that bell.
Hey, guys, thank you all for listening. We hope you have an awesome day.
Love ya.